Welcome to the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast with your host, hailing from Kokona, Wisconsin, riding a CST Tires SSI decals traveling back Yamaha YFC 450R, four-time ATV Motocross National Champion, number 25, Cody Jansen.
What's up, everybody? We're back. Man, it's an exciting day at Digging Deep. We went live with our video version of our can't miss previous episode of the podcast with TC Racing Engine's Tom Carlson. So check that out at our Digging Deep YouTube channel. You're really going to enjoy that. We paired up about 50 photos with our interview as you watch Tom tell his story. And it feels like we were just here, but we have yet another new episode coming at you tonight. Welcome to the latest edition of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, episode 105 of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, presented by our title sponsor CST Tires, in stock and available for purchase today at shop.csttires.com. I'm your host, Cody Jansen, saying hello to our more than 201,000 monthly Digging Deep listeners in all 101 countries in which you are listening. And on this episode, we'll be joined by five-time European Champion Kevin Saar and his new team owner at Musick Racing Repair, Brett Musick. On episode 103, we reacted to the biggest news of the offseason, and now the duo joins us to discuss how the deal came together, what their expectations are for Kevin's first gate drops on American soil, what he's looking forward to, details about the program, and more right here on the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast. And I'll just say, I think that the overwhelming feeling to this news has been good, but I think, there was a certain portion of the fan base out there that had their doubts. Well, I think that all changed when the video footage started to come out from Kevin spinning laps at the Decker training facility. The guy looks fast. So we'll get into that, but it sure feels like most of the comments are like, oh, yeah, he's going to be just fine. So we are stoked to get him here on the podcast. But with that, let's quickly shout out all of our incredible partners. CST Tires, go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, DID Racing Chain, Namura Technologies, Bronco ATV and UTV Components, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, the financial advice of the Haymauer Financial Group, DP Brakes, Factory 43, Binky's Forever ATC Museum, a special shout out to Impact Solutions, and Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DIGGINGDEEP20 at manscaped.com. Big news from Manscaped earlier this month as they announced they were making the jump into the beard products game. As you know, it's obvious. We're in part responsible for making this happen, of course. Introducing the Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit is the ultimate beard care bundle, a premium facial hair sculpting machine. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows dudes like you and I to style our beards to exactly our liking with a zoom wheel featuring 20 different built-in lengths. This Pro Kit also includes beard shampoo, conditioner, oil, balm, and a free gift, or gifts, I should say, of a beard brush, comb, and scissors. Now you're speaking my language, Manscaped. Get 20% off with free shipping by using code DIGGINGDEEP20 at manscaped.com. Say it every week. It's so rad that Manscaped is continuing to invest in ATV racing as a longtime partner of Digging Deep. Help us keep them in the fold and involved in ATV racing by using our Digging Deep 20 code so they know you enjoy Digging Deep and what we're all about over here. Support all the great companies that support us, and for any products that fall through the cracks, click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website to help us out. The kickoff to the 2023 season is just 2 weeks away as we speak, and we both know you still need parts and gear. No matter what off-road gear parts you need, Rocky Mountain ATVMC has you covered. But before you buy, simply click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website. By using our specific link, we get a percentage of what you buy on the back end, enabling you to help us out while purchasing the parts you need anyway. And did you know you can buy OEM parts from Rocky Mountain ATVMC as well? Yep, shipped conveniently right to your door. So click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner at diggingdeepatvmx.com to help us out while satisfying all your gear and parts needs. I don't believe we have any new donors to shout out this week, but if you are interested in donating and hearing your name on the show, you can find the Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee donation links on our website. Major thanks to all who have donated. And if you can't donate, but you still feel like you want to help us out, you can rate and leave us a review on iTunes and Spotify. That helps us out a bunch, helps show our listeners listeners that you are passionate about digging deep. So we appreciate anybody that does that. And a reminder, as you're listening tonight, grab your phone, head over to ATVFantasy.com and sign up for the new season of Digging Deep ATV Fantasy. As you know, it's a one-time sign-up fee to get your season pass. You'll get a chance to compete against the two guys coming up on the show. They've been Digging Deep ATV Fantasy players in recent years. You'll get a chance to compete against my Digging Deep crew, other pro riders, industry insiders, your friends, and hundreds of other ATV enthusiasts in ATV Fantasy. You know the drill. We award weekly and season-ending prizes. Of course, you don't even have to be good at playing the game. We randomly select prize winners as well. So sign up today at ATVFantasy.com. It's so much fun. It enhances the ATV fan experience by so freaking much. And man, that lineup for Daytona is looking really, really juicy. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's ATVFantasy.com. And now it's showtime. The 30-second board is up, it's sideways, and the gate is down. Time to dig deep. Let's go. All right, guys, we're back here for yet another episode of the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast. And I've been looking forward to this conversation for months. Brought to you by our friends at SSI Decals. Your decals your way. SSI sets the standard in the decals and graphics game by making your identity stick. Visit SSIDecals.com today to see all your customizable options for a new look for the new year. And SSI Decals actually brings us two guests tonight. Team owner of the Musick Racing and Repair Team, Brett Musick, and his new rider, five-time European Champion Kevin Saar. So we'll get Kevin in here shortly. But for now, we'll start with Brett Musick. And Brett, so we're finally here. We've both been chomping at the bit for this conversation to discuss these exciting changes and a new addition for your team for the 2023 season. I don't blame you for being excited about it because, you know, as far as new additions go, I don't think that it could get more exciting than this. So tell me about that. Welcome for coming. Thank you for being here and talk about how exciting this is, a time period for you and your family and your team.
Yeah, it's definitely, we can't wait to get the season started, and it's another good addition to the team for sure, and we're definitely super excited about it, and I'm excited for people to see Kevin's work ethic also, because I mean he really hits it hard on and off the track, and I think he's going to surprise a whole lot of people this summer. A
strong work ethic is a guy that you're going to click with, because that's how you are, Brett.
Yeah, we try to get after it for sure, and hopefully, like I said, we'll have a good year, and if he works like he has based on his Strava this year, he'll have a good year.
Yeah, I like that. So if you don't mind me asking, let's go back all the way to taking my listeners through your emotions Sunday morning at Loretta's, the season finale last year. You come over to me and kind of fill me in on what's going on, and you're devastated, right? You're devastated over kind of the fact that you think you're losing Brandon Hogue after this banner year that you guys had. You put yourself on the map, first year of this team. You have all the success. You're just about winning races, just about winning motos, nearly won a couple overalls. He's on the podium a bunch. He's becoming a podium guy in your team. It was an awesome year for you guys. So then fast forward to that Sunday morning, you're blindsided by this, surprised by this, you're heartbroken. So take me through some of those emotions prior to all this new excitement. Tell me what you were feeling then.
Well, last year is definitely one to remember, really across the board. I mean, for everybody on the team, it was a first year for the team, and having Brandon on board. Brandon's a great person and you can't beat him for sure. He's top notch, and he had a heck of a year. We had a few little ups and downs, and it all worked out good in the end. And yeah, Saturday, like I said, he ended up taking the third place position, and told us about the new ride for sure, and we were definitely sad about it, but at the same time, I mean, if it helps him better himself, we're 100% all the way for him, because I mean, whatever helps his future the most is what we'd want for him, because we think the world of him and everything. So just happy and sad at the same time, and I'm excited to see what he does this coming year too, because we've been riding past week or so down here at Deckers, and he's looking really good. He is.
Well, I do think that your heart is in conflict, right? Because like you said, and you told me this from the beginning, if it's a better move for Brandon, or if it's a good move for Brandon, or if it's simply what he thinks is best for him, you support him in that. At the same time, I know for a fact that you would have loved to ride this thing out, right? And you had so much success last year that would have been a good thing. But Now, knowing what we know now, you guys have this banner year, you have all the success. That's a huge feather in your cap to a guy like Kevin, as we kind of get to where we are now. Because Kevin, I'm sure, being the champion that he is from across the pond, he's not just going to sign up to ride for any old team. And you had all that success last year. Your team did. You did personally. Brandon, the rest of your guys, the whole team did well. A team of the year, right? So that's kind of a big thing too. I mean, sad because you lost the guy that you had a lot of success with, but a great year kind of probably helped pave the way to get a guy like Kevin on the team too. So as far as replacements go, I know you're not just simply replacing Brandon Hogue with Kevin Saar, but at the same time, like, man, what an awesome plug and play Kevin is to a great team and kind of keep you guys on the map. I would think.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. And another thing that's pretty cool, like with Brandon's program this year, it is a new team, but a lot of the components we had him on last year, like Chad's exhaust and the PEPs and tires and stuff, he carried over to this new program. And
yeah, I picked up on that. Yeah,
I thought that was cool for sure. Because I mean, I feel like his quad worked good for him last year, and this year too with our team. I mean, basically the same exact quad as what Brandon's going to be racing is the same thing as what components and stuff is what Kevin's going to. So yeah, that's pretty cool there to kind of, I guess, hopefully help Brandon out and everything last year with that, and hopefully with Kevin and get him on a good piece of equipment. And I'd love to see both of them do great this year.
Oh, of course. So I thought that was the coolest thing when I saw Gloop's video the other day with, it was you and Kevin and Brandon's right there. And that was just a cool dynamic for me to see, right? The fact that you guys are all still together, it's a pretty special thing. So how quickly, I'll ask you this. So how quickly did you shift your focus then, kind of in the wake of Loretta's last year and these changes kind of blindsiding you? How quickly did you shift your focus to getting someone else, to finding a replacement for Brandon? And was there any thought of not fielding a team or a rider?
Yeah, I honestly didn't plan on doing it again. And Harv shot me an email saying Kevin was looking for a ride and everything. And I kind of did some research. And honestly, there's not really a lot of people I would like to, not trying to sound rude or nothing, but fool with. Cause I mean, I'd like some team that's going to put their effort into it and not really just go there to say, hey, I'm hanging out down here and whatever. It's nice to have somebody that's actually working to better themselves at the racing career and putting their full effort into it. And that definitely makes you want to help out more for sure.
Got it. So I didn't know, obviously that was going to be my very next question, was taking me through how, Kevin got on your radar, because, as we outlined on previous episodes, Kevin is the best of the best that Europe has to offer, but it was an outside the box addition for sure. At the same time, he comes in with these accolades. And that was kind of my thinking from the start. What you kind of touched on there wasn't just a quote unquote free agent, sitting there waiting in the wing for you to plug on a quad that you knew was going to be a good rider, give it his all. Like, they're just, like you said, no disrespect to anybody, but there's nobody there just waiting for a ride. Insert Kevin Saar, and there's a very good quality, capable, rider ready to work. Truly, it probably couldn't have worked out any better.
Yeah, that ain't no doubt about that. And like I said, I'm excited to try the Yamaha out this year also, and have him on that and try to build that program. And he'll be on our own components this year. We've got that stuff finished up with the Musick Racing A-arms and swing arms. So have him showcasing those, and I'll be doing the same and just get our feet wet with the Yamaha out there also.
Yeah. So you touch on that. That probably works out really well too. It's like it all fits together where, if you're on the Honda style stuff and Kevin is on the Yamaha style stuff, if you're, developing all these products and components, you're each showing them off on different platforms, which is obviously special. That's a good thing. That works out seamlessly. So when you and Kevin started talking about this thing, talking about the potential of him riding for Musick Racing, did it kind of just take off and it was, it was seamless and ready to go? Or how, take me through those initial talks. Did you guys click right away?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my memory's so bad, I can't really remember it exactly. But yeah, he was talking to a few different places, and we just ended up working out the deal and everything, and got him on board. And went from there with him, trying to help him out as much as we can. Because I mean, stuff over there is a little bit different here than here, and just like little stuff like what all he needs on his jerseys and the injection helmet. Just we went through all that stuff for sure, and just getting our feet wet with everything.
Got it. Well, we've been, I know you've been chomping at the bit to share the news, as have I. I called it the story of the off season. I still believe that it's the biggest get you could have got, was adding somebody like Kevin to the team. He's a one-off. He's such a big deal in Europe. He's somebody that we've looked at from over here. I called him the Chad Wienen of Europe, right? I mean, he's the guy over there. So other than, dragging some kind of legend out of retirement, I mean, I don't think that you could have added somebody better to the team, somebody more notable to the team. So I think it's so exciting to have the best that Europe has to offer, coming to join us here in the States. I just think that that's so exciting. I think it's such a great ad for our series. And so as I understand it, Brett, Kevin arrived in the States last week, right? You guys have been doing some riding down there at Deckers. So take me through, you touched on it a little bit, but tell me a little bit on how that's going so far and your initial impressions when Kevin, first took to the track and you saw him riding. Tell me kind of what you were thinking when you saw him ride for the first time on that new machine.
Yeah, we got down. I picked him up from the airport in Atlanta on Wednesday, and we rode Thursday and Friday. It rained us out Saturday and Sunday, and we got some more seat time in today. And riding wise, like I said, I think he's gonna catch a lot of people by surprise this summer. And we got to get ride with Brandon and stuff, so it was good to see his speed. And we were all doing motos together out there, so that was pretty cool. And just I think he's going to do really good this year. And like I said, he works hard. And after round 2 or 3, he's going to stay here for the summer, and he'll be staying at the house. And we've got him a truck and everything and a practice squad, so he can do some motos at the house. And then if he wants to ride some other places or whatever he wants to do. So it's just like I said, I'll just describe his work ethic. The other day, or last day we rode last week, which would be Friday, he I think put in 4 or 5 motos, and then we got back at the house or at the hotel, and he shot me a message. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to go run." And daggone, he was down there on the treadmill for an hour after doing 5 motos.
I love it.
Said, that speaks for itself right there. I mean, he'll be in shape, and I really think he's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. And I think he'll be right there. Just my own opinion. I've been around this sport for a while now, and I think starting out the year, he'll be battling in the mix of a top 5 right off the bat. I mean, I really did.
That's kind of the position and stuff that I kind of thought where he was going to fit right in, right? I mean, obviously, it's all a learning curve. These are going to be new tracks and different qualifying setup and different guys to race and all these things. But I truly think that's how I've been seeing it going, in that top 5 mix kind of right away, finding his footing. I really think that that's how it's going to go. And like you said, so riding with Brandon, being at Deckers, we had this conversation with Brandon where he could see Joel's speed. I think that it's to your advantage and as a team manager, team owner, Kevin's advantage to kind of see that speed right away, right on a American style racetrack with Brandon there. And Brett, we all know how fast you are. You're rating pro sport and 25 plus champion and stuff. So can you run Kevin's pace? I mean, tell me about that, because you're a good gauge too. You're fast as shit too.
It really depends on the day. Last week, he was roughly, I would say, pulled me about a second and a half. And we did some motos today, and the track was a little bit softer today. So, I mean, it seemed like he would pull me a little bit, and he would mess up in a corner. I could catch him, because if you got out of the main line, it kind of sucked you up quick. But I think, that's honestly like myself too. Like, I've kind of hit it hard again. I haven't got a ride since Loretta's, and just me riding, I kind of feel like mid-season form. I mean, I didn't really get no arm. I felt pretty good today. I mean, I can't complain the least bit about that, for sure. I was happy about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're telling me that you're going to have this really good riding partner all summer long. So you're going to actually be better than you were the last couple of seasons, Brett.
I think so, for sure. And I'll have the CRF hybrid in both of my Hondas this year too, instead of the TRX. So I'll complete conversion to the hybrid, and that hybrid bone stock, I mean, that thing runs. It really does.
Mm-hmm. So so you'll be on the hybrid TRX style stuff, and Kevin will obviously be on the Yamaha. So does that put, I guess pressure is not the right word, but with all the, extra components, the buku spare parts that you're going to have with two different brands, is that a little bit of a hurdle for you, or how do you look at that?
We definitely got to stock up on the Yamaha stuff, and we got him a practice quad also, so that'll help out a lot. It should be finished within next week or two, and we'll just get the fuel odds and ends. And him at TDR, he has some spare parts and everything for us as well. And
okay, cool.
So we'll stock up and get talking to everybody about what kind of Yamaha stuff that's needed other than the normal stuff that you definitely need to have anyway, like oil filters and rotors and so forth. But
got it.
We'll definitely be needing to get stocked up a little bit on that side of it.
Got it. And what about who's gonna like be the acting mechanic, or who's gonna take Kevin to the gate? Is it gonna be you? Is it gonna be your dad? Tell me what you got lined up there, or don't you know yet?
We was talking to Dave Porter originally, and so everything fell through there.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool for sure. I think Dave does a real good job. And then when he told us he couldn't do it, we went searching and found Randy Cole. He wrenched for West Lewis a couple years back and worked with us at the Coster camp and everything. And I think he does a real good job, and he's excited about it too. So I mean, that goes a long way as well when somebody's looking forward to doing something. So I think
heck yeah,
do a great job for us.
Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. Actually, now that you say that, I saw him comment that he was excited to be a part of the program. So that's a cool deal. Yep. So kind of finishing up on that thought then on the brand thing. So you texted me the other day and said how good the Yamaha was and how it was completely different, feeling from the Wienen Yamaha that you rode back in 2014 when you were riding under that rig there. So tell me a little bit about that riding experience being different. I'm assuming you spun some laps on that quad that you built for Kevin. So tell me about that.
Yeah, it honestly, this is crazy, but me and him both run a twist throttle.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. You guys are two peas in a pod.
And that's what I told him. I said, we'll be the only two people in the series. But yeah, back in 2014, I wasn't too crazy about the Yamaha. I felt like they were severely underpowered then, but they made big gains with them, and the quad works good, and everything about it kind of works out good. Like, we're the same weights, the suspension and everything is about the same for both of us. And sure. I did some today on it, and basically I took it out for a 10-minute moto, and that quad, basically the first time I've rode it other than 3 laps since 2014 at Yamaha, I was about a second off my pace from my hybrid. I was about a second and a half quicker on the hybrid. But
that's saying something to be that close relative, right, to a quad that you're used to like the back of your hand.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I like I said, they've made big gains with them, and if you're not running a hybrid, just my honest opinion, I mean, with the reliability aspect and the whole 9 yards, I do think the Yamaha is the way to go. Mm-hmm. I like the Honda, how it works for me. I've rode it my whole career, and with a hybrid in it, I do think that's a very good route to go also. But if it's a straight production class, I would always for sure probably recommend somebody go ahead and go with the Yamaha.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was fun to hear that, because, you and I had active dialogue throughout the year about the different brands and stuff. And that's exciting, because I didn't know originally, what Kevin was going to ride. And then, yep, I saw the Yamaha stuff. I know that's obviously what he's been on now for a number of years in Europe. So yeah, it's exciting. We'll get right back to the show, but now a word from our sponsors. And thank you for listening to these ads. Without these great companies, none of this would be possible. Show your support for the people who support us. We used to speak of a CST takeover, but now 2022 is the year of CST supremacy. CST's Pulse MXR tires are the choice of Joel Hetrick, Jeffrey Rastrelli, and Nick Janusa, meaning CST tire riders are in contention for Pro Class wins and a possible podium sweep every time they hit the racetrack. CST tires are also the official tire choice of the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast, but you already knew that. I, your host Cody Jansen, helped pioneer the CST takeover with Pulse MXR fronts and white label soft compound rears on my way to back-to-back national championships and a Pro Sport podium to cap off the 2021 season. The Pulse MXR tire, available in soft and standard compounds, offer the highest level of traction, most predictable cornering, and superior wear characteristics when compared to the competition. Did I mention they offer contingency payouts as well? Visit shop.CST Tires to join the CST takeover today or prepare to be beat by someone who did. Joel Hetrick, Jeffrey Rastrelli, Nick Janusa, myself, and so many more believe and trust in CST Tires. Do you? You already know we're Team Blue Crew now more than ever here at the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast. And whether it's 8-time and reigning ATVMX Pro Class National Champion Chad Wienen, who with his next championship will become the winningest champion in ATV motocross history, or 7-time and current XC1 Pro ATV GNCC National Champion Walker Fowler, who is now tied for second all-time in titles won, it's clear the podium-proven Yamaha YFZ450R is the winning choice of sport ATVs. This continued and unprecedented success for the Yamaha YFZ450R, its unrivaled quality and performance, and the undisputable fact that Yamaha is the leading OEM supporter of ATV racing has resulted in an ever-growing Yamaha takeover within the sport quad market. Best yet, Yamaha's Blue Crew Racer Support Program is back and stronger than ever here in 2022, meaning Yamaha riders will once again cash in on payouts and prize opportunities, including a chance to win a brand new YFZ 450R. For more info, head over to YamahaBlueCrew.com, follow them at Yamaha Outdoors on social media, and check out Yamaha's full proven off-road lineup at YamahaOutdoors.com today. SSI Decals is a name synonymous with ATV racing, synonymous with big-time success, and absolutely synonymous with the best-looking decals around. An offshoot of their parent company that was established in 1947, SSI first took shape from owner Ian Harris's passion for ATVs. With what started as just making numbers and decals for riders like Chad Wienen, the company quickly took off, and today you couldn't imagine ATV motocross without SSI decals. The graphics maker and designer now supports all the top teams in ATV motocross, as well as teams and riders racing GNCC, Work Series, Pro Motocross and Supercross, Canadian Pro Motocross, short course off-road trucks, UTVs, snowcross, and oh yeah, 6-time world champion top fuel drag racer Clay Milliken. No project is too big or too small for SSI decals, making your identity stick with championship level graphics. Head over to SSIDecals.com today and then maybe call the doctor because things are about to get sick. The Digging Deep ATVMX podcast is brought to you in part by DID and their wide range of championship-winning chains. From the street to the track and everywhere in between, DID chains are designed to give you the optimal riding experience with great performance and increased chain life. Consistent to the core, pick up your box of reliability today. DID, what drives you?
We are proud to be partnered with Namura Technologies. Since 2001, Namura has led the charge in the ATV and side-by-side market, covering more applications than anyone else in the industry. Namura's advanced piston technology uses a NASA-exclusive aluminum alloy that helps to reduce expansion rates, allows for tighter tolerances, and leads to higher overall engine performance for your machine. For more information about Namura's wide offerings of pistons, rings, gaskets, industry-leading top-end repair kits, and recently added connecting rods, visit your local dealer or online at www.namura.com. Namura Technologies, your one-stop shop engine component supplier. We are pleased to be partnered with Bronco ATV and UTV Components. Bronco has been an industry leader in replacement hard parts and accessories for all makes and models for over 15 years. With a catalog that includes a full line of electrical components, engine internals and cylinders, shock and suspension parts, winches, clutch kits, valves, carb kits, bearing kits, and drive chain parts, Bronco is your hard parts source for whatever you need for whatever you ride. Available exclusively through distributors around the world, visit your local dealer or online at broncoatv.com.
Without further ado, let's shimmy Kevin over here. Let's get him in here. And I'm proud to welcome from Estonia, 5-time European champion, new rider of the 311 Musick Racing and Repair YFZ 450R, Kevin Saar, welcoming him to the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast presented by SSI Decals. And Kevin, congratulations on the ride and the opportunity. Welcome to the States, buddy. And we are proud to have you here. We're proud to have you here at Digging Deep, proud to have you here in the States. And man, welcome.
Hi, Cody. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
So you arrived last week, as we heard from Brett there. You've done a little riding. Word on the street is, and like Brett said, you've been, impressive so far. So tell me how the experience has been so far.
Yeah, I flew over last week on Wednesday. He picked me up, and the next day we were riding already. So that was quick. Time difference is pretty huge. 8
Right.
hours.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, every lap it's going much better, and I feel really good.
And you kind of had the advantage. I was talking to somebody about this last week, that you have the advantage of you're totally in riding form, right? Because you just got done racing that beach race last weekend. You come over here a couple days later, you're racing or you're riding again, spinning laps again. So you're totally in riding shape, totally ready to go. I mean, that's got to feel like an advantage, like you never took any time off.
Yes, for sure. I wouldn't say I'm 100% in riding form. Just rode some to get ready for the beach race, and
Got it.
yeah, from now on I try to ride more and get ready for the first race.
Got it. Well, so I've seen, a number of photos of you, as I'm sifting through photos, just looking at your stuff, trying to file some stuff away for posts and whatever. So I've seen a million photos of you in Europe with those big, tall, narrow tires, right? Those things that are so foreign to us over here. So is that what you guys use in Estonia, or do you use a little bit of everything? I guess why I'm asking is because are you just as comfortable on, like our standard MX style tires as you are on the big ones? I mean, tell me about that. What do you guys ride most over there?
It really depends. We use everything really,
Okay.
just because we have to ride with sidecars mostly
Got
most
it.
of the time, and our tracks are really sandy. So, but I really like 8-inch more.
Got it.
I'm glad.
Got it. So those tall tires, like we've talked about with some of the Quad Cross of Nations races in the past, those tall tires are to get you out of those kind of funky ruts, keep you up and tall out of those ruts from the sidecars.
Yeah, the main reason is when one guy is putting those tractor tires on, then when you go out with small tires, you just get stuck. So everyone.
Got it. Everybody's got to do it.
Yeah.
So Joe Bird weighed in on social media as all the hoopla was going on with all the excitement of people, finding out that you're coming to the States. He kind of weighed in and said that you had come over here at one point and trained with him years ago. Is that right?
No, that was back in Estonia. He came over to there.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know that. So tell me what that was like.
It was 2011. I think he came over at the winter time, so the riding school was inside the arena.
Oh wow. Okay. And
a few days ago showed Brett my crazy hybrid bike then.
Okay. So what would you have been riding at that time?
I had some custom made home built 2-stroke Yamaha.
Oh wow. Okay.
With a dirt bike seat, so it was crazy.
Wow. Well, and you had a couple hybrids even more recently with the dirt bike seat and kind of funky chassis, right? Am I remembering that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember some of those things, like, man, what is that thing? It's crazy. But what do you remember from working with Birdman there? How many push-ups did you have to do?
A lot. I remember that it was, I think, two days school.
Okay.
And my quad broke first day, so I was just watching and doing push-ups.
Doing push-ups. Yeah. So I'll tell you a little story. So when I had to be 12 or 13 years old, and my dad signs me up for the Joe Bird school, and we go down there, and I have no idea what I'm getting into. Right. And I wasn't mechanically inclined as a 12-year-old. So I didn't do a ton of my own maintenance or whatever, which, looking back on it, I wish I would have, but my quad was missing some cotter pins, and there might've been a bolt or two loose on my stocker, and man, I think I had to do hundreds of push-ups before I ever even left the shop. And yeah, it wasn't ideal for me. I remember my dad being like, yeah, Cody's got a shoulder injury. He's not going to be able to do any more push-ups. And so I figured I had to ask you how many push-ups Joe Bird had to do there. That's a funny story.
it really was a big deal that some American rider is coming to Europe and teaching us. Everyone were so excited about that.
So what is the ATV racing? What is it like in Estonia? Is there a lot of ATV racing, or I know you guys travel a lot, across the continent there, but tell me about what it's like where you come from.
Not really. We have like I would say 5 classes of quads only, and that is the reason why we need to ride with sidecars and dirt bikes, because we just don't have enough classes to fill up the day.
Got it. So before Brett contacted you, Kevin, before kind of getting back to this whole excitement of this deal here, so you were looking to come to the States, is what Brett said. So how did, was has that always been a goal for you, or how did, it kind of shift? Because to me, it looks like, and I don't know, I'm not there, so I don't know exactly how it is in Europe, but from here, it looks like you had a really good gig where, you're kind of, don't know how to say it, but you set the standard, right? You're the guy to beat kind of thing in Europe. You got a really good thing going, you're the guy there. So what kind of motivated you to come over here? And I guess at what time did you, make the decision, going to the US would be a good move for me?
Yeah, it has been a really big dream of mine from day one. So last year I had clinched my 5th European title, and we as a team decided we are not going to ride anymore the Europeans.
Oh, okay.
So my goal was to see if I can find a rental quad so I could make a couple of rounds here in America.
Okay.
So I contacted Harv from AMA and asked about the license, if I could even get one.
Okay.
Same evening, Brett contacted me and we started talking. So
wow.
So it was a huge.
Well, like I said to Brett, it's kind of like it's meant to be. Brett and I, communicate a little bit here back and forth, and was helping him with some stuff for the team, some PR work or whatever. And I remember the day that he texted me and said, that there's a chance Kevin could ride for us, Kevin Saar. And I'm like, man, really? Like, I couldn't believe it. The way that we, at least from my perspective, the way that I view you over here is, you're the guy over there. So to think that you were going to come to our series and add that aspect to our series, man, and I know you listen to our Digging Deep stuff or whatever, or at least follow along a little bit. So, I mean, these stories, these notable things for people to watch, the excitement, all those things. I mean, that's what makes it for me. That's the most exciting thing of them all. And to have you over here is shoot. I called it the biggest story of the off season, but I just think simply because it's exciting, and to think of a kid like you growing up from Europe and, wanting to race in the States and getting the opportunity to, kind of achieve that goal, to realize that dream. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what your goals and dreams are. To get a chance to do that, especially where you come from, where that path isn't as easy as it is for us over here to kind of achieve this goal of becoming a pro in the United States. Now, you coming to the United States as a European pro and entering the AMA ATV Pro class, man, I think it's the coolest thing, because you're realizing a goal I'm sure you've had for forever. And I just think that that's the coolest thing. Not everybody gets to do that. I think that not always do we really focus on how cool that is. It's just like a kid, growing up in Europe wanting to be a soccer star. Your path was ATVs, and you're getting to do it now on the biggest stage. That just has to be such a cool feeling.
Yeah, to be totally honest, I wasn't planning on racing the whole series, because it just looked so hard, so expensive, and just impossible. But when Brett texted me, he's just helping me a lot, and with everything. So now it looks like I can just make a full season, and he's really helpful and trying to help in any way he can.
Yeah, that's special. And I think, for you, and I'm sure you guys were able to, communicate and have phone conversations, I'm sure, whatever, before you totally signed up to do this thing. But, you got to kind of trust, a team and an owner or whatever that you're going to ride for. And I'm sure it didn't take very long, like Brett said, for you two to realize you're very similar to each other. I mean, very hard workers, very dedicated to your craft, love riding. I mean, I just think it sure sounds like it's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I have followed AME racing for a long time, and I know Brett from his pro days. So I know him, and yeah, I haven't met him, but I knew the name. So
yeah. Awesome dude. Well, like I said, at least from afar, you had a good thing going over there, but to then learn that, you guys weren't going to go for a sixth title. It's awesome to see you take your talents over here. So obviously, like I said, I've made it pretty clear on social media. We're obviously cheering for you, buddy. Do you have any tracks like you're specifically, looking forward to, or anything? I guess it doesn't even necessarily need to be racing related. But do you have anything that you're extra excited for over here in the US?
I'm excited for everything, really. Honestly, it's just a dream. Even now, it's riding at Deckers and being here with all those guys and meeting everybody. It's just a dream, and I'm here.
That's amazing. So will any of your family or your chick, will she come with you like when you come back over here for good, or what's the story with that?
Yeah, we would like they come first round, I think.
Okay.
And now, as I have been here for 1 week, we are already planning that girlfriend would stay with me here.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, and the reason why I ask that is I think that, those things, to make it a little more normal, like home, makes it a little easier, right? Like if you were here on an island, Brett's family is amazing. Brett's an awesome dude, but you still need, life to be semi-normal, right? And then I think that translates to being, yourself on the racetrack. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it's not easy to be alone, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. The time different, so different. When you wake up here, it's evening here already, though. So they go to sleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't think about that. That would be extra tough. So then Brett had told us that you're going to fly back to Europe, and then after those first couple rounds, you're going to be here for good. Is that the plan?
Yes, that's the plan.
Got it.
Yeah.
You said it's sandy back in Estonia where you come from, right? So does that make you do you consider yourself a sand specialist, or are you just as good on hard packed? I mean, what kind of track or soil or kind of track makeup, what do you prefer? What's your favorite?
I think I would like something in between.
Okay. Well, that's good, because that's probably what most of ours are like.
Yeah. Hopefully I can get used to all the tracks, and I would say the most biggest difference is the pace and aggressiveness here. Mm-hmm. So I need to get used to that, and hopefully each round I'm getting better.
And so do you think back on, and the reason why I ask this is because I think we saw a number of people commenting, using the Quad Cross of Nations as kind of a measuring stick, right? So do you look at those races and the way that you were able to run with and battle with, some of the US guys, do you look at that as kind of like a confidence booster? Like, well, I know that I can, run this pace with those guys at these certain tracks. I mean, is that something that kind of helps you have a little confidence, like I said, going into these races? I mean, do you think back on those Quad Cross of Nations memories and think, yeah, like I can run with these guys?
I wouldn't say I could run with those guys, but for sure it shows something.
Okay.
So I'm not hopefully too far off, and I can catch up.
Okay. And what about your expectations, pal? I mean, obviously in your heart of hearts, you have an idea of where you fit, right? I would think, because you said you watch these guys religiously over the years. So tell me simply, what are your expectations or your goals? What are your goals for the season? I mean, what are you expecting out of this exciting year ahead?
I really hope to start with, I think, a good top 10 finish, and start building from there. and hopefully I can fight my way up to top 5.
Okay. I love it. I think you're exactly right. I think you're totally capable. I really do. Like Brett said, I think that you're going to fit right in just fine. I really do. So last week when we were chatting about, we were talking about all this excitement of you coming to the States, we were trying to compare, what Kevin Saar being in our series will look like compared to maybe some of the European guys that came before you. So have you looked at any of those guys over the years, like as guys you look up to, whether it's the Jeremy Warnias or anybody like that? That's one of the guys that we mentioned on that episode we recorded last week. Do you look at any of those previous European guys and kind of look up to them? Do you have any of those guys that you're allies with that you talk to, maybe can tell you kind of what to expect or anything like that? Or is that not something that you've done necessarily, is talk to or look at any of those guys?
Jeremy Warnia is a legend in Europe.
Yeah.
Know him. So yeah, I have talked with Vitek from Poland and Rini also. That was the one thing I saw, that the Europeans are coming here and racing, and I thought about myself that it's possible to come here and race. So it gave me some boost.
Yeah, well, and we saw some of those guys do really well. I mean, Vitek did really well at times, and shoot, he was doing it by himself, basically. Like, he didn't have as good of a gig, as good of a team as you got here. So yeah, that's awesome.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
The following message is brought to you by Manscaped.com. The Manscaped engineering team has outdone themselves this time, creating the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, now available for purchase in the U.S. and Canada. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, an official sponsor of the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast, with this exclusive offer of 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at Manscaped.com. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I am blown away. This thing is next level. What sets this trimmer apart from all the rest? The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. It features a new multi-functioning on-off switch with travel lock for those of us who like to travel. And my favorite, the new trimmer allows you to customize your trim with 4 different guard lengths, an upgrade from its predecessor that only featured 2. If you're listening, you know that good tools are a must, so wait no more to get the best tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped.com by using code DiggingDeep20.
Hey everyone, this is Larry Mills, president of DP Brakes North America and proud partner of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast. We at DP Brakes are a longtime supporter of ATV racing and the world leader in sintered brake technology, dominating the ATV world for decades by supporting the best four-wheel racers on the planet. This year's lineup includes Jeff Rastrelli, Mark Baldwin and Baldwin Motorsports, Ford Brothers Racing, Nick Janusa, and many more, including Mr. Digging Deep himself, Cody Jansen. Plus all the top 17 GNCC pros such as 7-time champion Walker Fowler, Bryson Neal, Hunter Hart, Cole Richardson, Jared McClure, Adam McGill, and previous champion Chris Borich. These top riders continue to appreciate the high performance and impressive durability that their DP brakes have to offer, products that ultimately help place them on top of the podium week after week. DP brakes are available through www.dp-brakes.com, or you can purchase them through your local Parts Unlimited stocking dealer, or you can even message us, myself, Larry Mills, or DP Brakes on Instagram or Facebook. And if you have any questions about product or sponsorship support, please ask us. We are waiting for you. Join the best ATV riders in the world equipped with DP Brakes, and have a great year, everyone.
Nearing 2 decades into the brand's existence, Factory 43 is back and better than ever, continuing to make major waves in the ATV world. For the 3rd consecutive season, Factory 43 is the official aluminum parts choice of the Phoenix Racing ATV team, providing their state-of-the-art Evo Nerf bars, MX-style front bumpers, and grab bars for 2-time champ Joel Hetrick. If you're in the market to upgrade your Nerf bars, bumpers, or grab bars, head over to Factory43ATV.com to see their full line of industry-leading products available for all makes and models. Head over to Factory43ATV.com today.
Success in the ATV MX world is similar to what creates financial success as well. The right people, the right advice, and more importantly, hard work and the benefit of an ongoing relationship as situations change and adversity is experienced. Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Haymower Financial Group can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help your family prepare for whatever life brings. Call me, Scott Haymower, at Haymower Financial Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, at 920-338-8150. That's 920-338-8150. Offices located in beautiful De Pere, Wisconsin, with registrations and clients nationwide.
Just like the sport of ATV motocross as a whole, our Digging Deep community is brought together by the love for racing that we all share. Our sport is compiled of many great people, and leading that charge is the Launderville family at Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply. This racing-owned family business is a steel and concrete supplier serving the entire United States. Launderville Steel is a full-service steel supplier of new and surplus steel, aluminum, and stainless steel products, headlined by their 4130 chromoly tubing and plate used in the building of chassis for ATVs and UTVs, off-road truck racing, late model dirt and pro tractor pulling series, drag racing, and more. Launderville Steel loves their racing just as much as we do, but don't forget about their concrete division as well. With over 25 years of experience, the concrete division can supply everything you need to complete your next business or personal project. Their central Midwest location enables LSE to easily serve customers across the United States. For a quote, additional info, answers to more of your questions, or to talk a little racing, head over to laundervillesteel.com or give them a call today. We are proud to be partnered with yet another racer-owned company. Thank you, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply. Here at Digging Deep, we have an obvious passion for ATVs and pridefully enjoy sharing the sport's history. Since 2019, when the podcast was born, we've been working to partner with individuals who share our passion, but one man and his vision had been missing from our partnership group. Until now. When it comes to the sport's history, the hallowed grounds of Binky's Forever ATC Museum has it all. Binky Tapscott's mind-blowing collection of 3- and 4-wheelers has preserved history by spanning all makes and models, from Honda 3-wheelers in chronological order to unique builds that shaped ATV racing as we know it, like Doug Gust's iconic DRZ-powered hybrid thumper and everything in between. There's no denying Binky's passion, a passion that we certainly relate to here at Digging Deep. Binky's goal is to share his amazing collection with fellow enthusiasts by making his prized possessions accessible to the public via scheduled visits. Follow Forever ATC Museum on Facebook and watch foreveratc.com for further updates on possibly getting a chance to see Binky's Forever ATC Museum for yourself. We are proud to welcome Binky's Forever ATC Museum to the Digging Deep family. Thanks for listening, and remember to support our partners. Now back to the show. So the question I had to ask you before we got out of here, pal, it's important because you're very good. You're a very good Digging Deep player, a Digging Deep ATVMX fantasy player last season. I believe you finished 8th on the season in ATV fantasy. We sent you a prize and everything. So you know what you're talking about in ATV fantasy. That's why I'm asking you this. So will you be selecting yourself in ATV fantasy at races this spring and this summer?
That's a good question. My my girlfriend asked the same thing at home. I told her that I think I don't want it that how would I say?
You don't want that pressure or something? Is that
exactly.
it?
I wouldn't want that pressure on myself. And then she said she's playing herself.
Okay. She's playing well. I think, or it could go either way. You could be like, man, like I got to perform for my fantasy team. So it might be a little extra boost, not pressure, but a little extra wind in your sails. You never know.
I think I will help her, but I don't play.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Well, you were very good in the game last year. I thought it was the coolest thing that we had you playing, and you did well. So you heard the man. We don't know if hopefully we can push him to play and maybe pick himself. So we'll see what happens there, but you can sign up today and play along with us, play along with Kevin's, friends and family, but possibly put him on your fantasy team, selecting Kevin for your 4-rider squad. You can sign up today at atvfantasy.com. But Kevin, we're so stoked to have you here, buddy. I'm so excited for you. Obviously stoked that you're realizing this dream for you. I'm stoked that you're linked up with Brett, who's an awesome guy, has an awesome team. I think he's willing to do anything and everything to be successful, which is awesome to be linked up with him. I don't think that you could be with anybody better. And like I said, we're pulling for you, pal. I think that this is going to be a blast for us to watch you this season. And I think that you're going to have a blast as well. I think it's going to be a summer that you'll remember for forever. And hopefully as ATV racing fans, we're going to remember it forever too, you being here, because it's pretty special. And man, like I said, we're just thankful to have you here. I think you're a great addition to our series.
Thank you very much. And I would like to say huge thanks to Brett and the whole Musick Racing team for having me here. And I really look forward to this season. And I do everything possible to stay fit and to do my best.
I know you're going to do your best, pal. I think, like I said, I think success is in the near future for you. But guys, thanks so much for joining me here. All the ATV community, you wanted to hear from you both. So I can't thank you enough for joining me on your Florida trip. I took a little break from your riding and training and everything, getting to know each other, taking a little break from that to spend a little time with me and our listeners is so much appreciated. So let's plan to do this after a few races into the season. After we kind of got our feet wet, let's plan to get back together, spend a little time together, talk about some racing, talk about how it's went. But guys, again, thanks so much for your time, and we'll talk soon. All right.
Yep. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing.
You guys rock. That's the newest addition to the ATV Motocross Nationals. 5-time European champion Kevin Saar and his team owner at Musick Racing and Repair, Brett Musick, right here on the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast, brought to you by SSI Decals. Thanks so much, guys. Safe travels, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Update. A lot of people are going to be pulling for Kevin Saar 2 weeks from today at Daytona. What an awesome guy. The real question is, will you have him on your Digging Deep ATV fantasy team? I bet he occupies one of the 4 rider spots on his girlfriend's team. I would almost bet on that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's on mine as well. But will he be on yours? Head over to atvfantasy.com right now to unlock a whole new level of fun while watching ATV motocross all year long. Thanks to tonight's featured guests, Brett Musick and Kevin Saar of the Musick Racing and Repair Team. Thanks to producer Dallas Jansen, my brother, for all his hard work. Thanks to Brooke and AMA official Harv Whipple. Thanks to all of our donors. You know who you are. We appreciate you so much. Thanks to all of our partners, CST Tires. Go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, DID Racing Chain, Namura Technologies, Bronco ATV and UTV Components, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, the financial advice of the Haymauer Financial Group, DP Brakes, Factory 43, Binky's Forever ATC Museum. A special shout out to Impact Solutions and Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at manscaped.com. Support all the brands that support our show, and don't forget to use those codes to save. You can find it all on our website, and be sure to click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner for all your gear and parts needs and to help us out. And most of all, thanks to you guys for listening. Signups are open for ATV Fantasy, as you've been hearing, so sign up today at atvfantasy.com, and at shop.diggingdeepatvmx.com, you'll find our all new alternative logo shirts and hoodies just in time for the new season. So stoked on those. All of our pre-orders are shipping out tomorrow, so get on that before they sell out. If you're looking for another easy way to help support us, visit our website and click the Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee buttons. This allows you to set up a one-time or monthly contribution to support our efforts. Leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the show, 920-569-3519. That's 920-569-3519. Follow the show on social media, Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, and myself, Cody Jansen, for additional content coverage and all kinds of fun stuff, as we are just days away from the start of the brand new season of ATV motocross. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. Wherever you find podcasts, you'll find the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast. All episodes, additional podcast providers, sponsor links, and discount codes, show merchandise, fantasy info, and more can all be found on our website, diggingdeepatvmx.com, so check that out today. Be a friend, tell a friend, please download, subscribe, rate, review, and share. And with that, for Kevin Saar, Brett Musick, Brooke Catherine, Dallas Jansen, and I'm your host, Cody Jansen. Thanks for listening to and making us the most listened to podcast in ATV racing, with more than 201,000 downloads last month in 101 total countries. Until next time, thanks for joining us in Digging Deep with the Stars of ATV Motocross. See you next week for our 2023 ATV Motocross season preview show. Things are crashing and burning here at the Digging Deep podcast, much like the Titanic.
those guys were hauling ass, for real.
I remember watching Doug Gus, I don't know who it was, Steel City, running the same times Friday afternoon as James Stewart was on Sunday back then. It was mental. I've never seen quads go that fast.
Quad dudes are freaking gnarly.